please tell the people who you are and what you do on the internet.
Hello, I am the guy that fakes his accent online and has probably the channel with the longest name on YouTube. And if it does not, then I will find you and I will make fun of you.
You probably do have the channel with the longest name on YouTube. We could search for it.
It's the most blatant channel with the longest name because I have to physically say people that it is the channel with the freakishly long name.
Yes, it is the most blatant. That is correct.
But if anyone tries to do it else, if someone tries to overthrow me, there's gonna be shit. I just know it.
There's gonna be war.
Yes, finally. There's already this guy in America that got arrested that had an absurdly long name, and worthy opponent. I just have to wait for his incarceration period to end, and I will.
Your arch nemesis.
Yes, finally.
There's this guy called Tuzel, right? He makes skits. Like elaborated rants, but a little bit like he reviews being good or bad, for example, being nice or being like a cunt.
A prick.
Yeah. Like he reviews this kind of stuff, and he did that, but he also does other stuff like skits. More now, he's doing more like skits and like edited commentary in a way. It's like commentary about general things, and he has like an arch nemesis that is Tuzel. So
it's just the name repeated. Obviously, that's me. That's the sign for evil.
Yeah. Or there's this guy, the boy John. He also has an arch nemesis, also called the boy John.
That's gonna cause confusion. I'm not sure what anime plot they're trying to fucking retell in that, but it just doesn't seem. It seems convoluted. It's gonna be confusing. So.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like the more obscure channels get, the smaller they are. Like the more obscure they get, the more interesting I think they are. And you have to actively search for them. It's like YouTube is not like TV where you like zap and watch something. I mean, you can't read it like that because of the autoplay and shit. But generally speaking, you have to search for what you want. So,
and YouTube is a lot more, I would say, a little bit more vast with the kind of content that you get. So you really know that you'll get the bigger stuff. You'll get like low quality stuff. You'll get popular. You'll get niche. So yeah, you need to physically look for the kind of stuff. I can understand that.
So going into this direction a little bit, I have this question popped up in my head, and I'm like, would your life be better without the internet? Or with the internet? Well, like that's a question I actually ask myself. Would your life be better without the internet?
I know my life would be better if I didn't have to focus on YouTube all that much. Like, as much as I love doing YouTube and stuff, like I would admit that my life would be 100 times easier if I didn't have that one outlet that I need to constantly satisfy other people for. Otherwise, the internet, depending, like, I guess it's already comes to that point where we're kind of like used to it now, and just not having it is just we kind of grew to it, I'd say. Like, it's gonna feel physically impossible. You go into a physical withdrawal, I think, if you don't have internet nowadays. So I would say probably my life would be easier without it, because as well, it depends, like with YouTube now I don't have to go on Twitter, and then I don't have to see people bitching about the smallest stupid shit. But also the internet's a good thing because it takes your mind sometimes a bit off of the real life stuff that happens around you. Like there could be a lot worse shit that happens in your life, and then you just go to the internet to try and get away from all that. So I'd say it's probably 50-50 for me then.
50-50. No,
I'd say that's probably about right.
That sounds like what a centrist would say. Are you sitting on a fence? You have to decide for one side. You can't say 50-50.
Okay, internet. I can't watch porn in real life.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I don't have access to those studios. What do you mean?
I mean, didn't the peep shows exist? Like you could actually go into a physical booth, and jerk off.
Oh my lord!
I think that's a thing that existed. I mean, clearly they don't exist that anymore. But like, I remember vaguely when I was a child in Brazil. I remember vaguely there was such a thing. There was even such a thing that like if you back then in the late 90s, when you go to like a video store, right? You could rent cassette tapes, you know? You could rent that shit.
Yeah, no,
Remember
that I'm very curious. Then they're not curious. Like I remember that was a thing, because then I remember they would always go like to the back. They'd have like this black bag. It's like someone was just busy hiding alcohol or something, but no, it was just like Glory mags or some shit. I don't know. Probably the latest magazine of FHM or Playboy. I remember that all too well.
I remember this huge it wasn't called Blockbuster. Like in Brazil, nothing is official. Okay, it was some like third name copy. Like everything is like everything is stolen. Like renting business and rented cassette tapes. Not cassette tapes, VHS tapes, and like there's always this one section like far in the back that is like has a door and someone standing in front of it, and then there was like all the porn. Like I never knew about it. Like it when, and then it was someday I almost went into it, and my dad said, "No, don't go in there." Like I never understood why I shouldn't go in there, but later I'm like, "Oh, that's the porn. That's the porn side." Gotcha.
Your eyes have been open after all these years.
Yeah, after all these years, like why that was also always closed off. That's the porn place. Okay, gotcha.
I can imagine like you had like this anime flashback moment where you remembered your past, and then you just needed to go back to that very special place just to seek the answers that you need.
I just remember that like my dad like, "Oh no, please don't go in there." Like, why? It's just a room with cassette tapes. Tapes.
Well, it was very good of him to do that, because I think you would have been exposed to things. It's like the dark side of the Force. It contains powers many consider to be unnatural. This situation, it's all natural, but I mean, still, I don't think really a lot of people, especially at that age of yours, should be exposed to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think we do both. We sexualize children too early, and we don't give them explain early enough how this whole shit works, right? Because, for example, when you're hardcore Christians, like the best solution to not have kids is not have sex. Instead of explaining, hey, maybe you could use a condom and shit, and you know it also protects you against STDs, and you shouldn't maybe choosing your sex partner wisely, and you know taking precautions and shit. Instead of like, no, not have sex. If you jerk off, you're gonna have hairy hands and shit like that. So it's like we sexualize children too early, and we at the same time don't explain them how they should behave around this shit.
Yeah, I don't think I'd ever know how to like. I just tell my kids, listen, you'll learn this one day in school. I might take the initiative and explain it to them early about this, but I don't want kids, so I don't really want that responsibility to have to teach them that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think that's my easiest philosophy. I don't think I really want kids.
Yeah, I think most people are like that now, that they don't want kids, actually. I mean, there are a lot of people still that want kids, but like, what can you, like, the more you know about the world and the more you know about everything, it's like, do you really want to set like bring up a child in this world where it's like, you know, everything is fucked? So it's like, and you know, it's like just going the one direction. It's like, yeah, maybe it's getting better, but like, do you really want to put it on them, you know?
Yeah, that's actually very true now that I think about it. Yeah, I don't think in the world that we live in now I want to bring up my kid in this.
Yeah,
I don't think really like the world is going to improve with like, you know, like even with snowflakes and stuff like this, and how fucking just how shit everything is nowadays, especially. It's also bad for people who just got children now and then they had to spend the first year of life being trapped in a pandemic.
Yeah.
They barely know how the outdoors look like. So, I mean, I don't think I want to, like, maybe it's more like I don't want to subject my kids to that, because that's not the life I want them to have. So, yeah. I guess that's probably the best way I can explain it.
I guess for I'm very negative. I'm very cynical. I am, you know, my catchphrase, big or bad. It's like, you know, it's like I'm very cynical. I don't trust anyone. I don't trust myself. I hate most people. I hate mostly myself as well. So it's like I'm a very, very cynical person. I don't take many things serious. I do care about certain things, but like mainly cynicism. But even I do believe that the world is moving in a better direction. You know, like if you compare humans today and humans 100 years ago, like I think we're better. You know, we don't want to kill the gays so much anymore. They can marry now. Yeah, that's pretty good.
I guess if you bring that up, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, like children are getting treated better. They're not getting like beaten every day in school. Like maybe by bullies, but like generally speaking, the teacher doesn't beat the children to death anymore. We're getting, generally speaking, smarter. The average IQ is like every 10 years, roughly every 10 years, rises by 10 points. So we are smarter than the people 100 years ago, even though the older generations might say, oh, these young children are all dumb. Like in reality, they are the dumb people. So I think we are moving in a good direction. It's just moving very slowly. We're like in this generation where stability is not quite there. Like stability was always like a dream, but like we're not in a place where like it's stagnant. It's like it's moving too fast and too slow at the same time.
Yeah, I guess you got a good point there. I totally agree with you. I think, if you look at it that way, the world is going into a better direction, but man, we're taking fucking ages.
Yeah, it's like it's too fast and too slow at the same time. Compared to like World War I, for example, the world was very stagnant. Very slowly. The world was very slowly changing. But like, imagine like the things that changed in the last 10 years. Smartphones. For today, smartphones is normal. Back then, people in the 2010 or something like that, like having a phone that couldn't even connect to the internet was normal. Now you can watch stream you can stream the whole day on your little pocket computer. It's like
exactly. Yeah. In terms like that, technology definitely was one thing that definitely improved. Now I think people back then are probably shocked with things, especially stuff like in movies as well. I remember I think so many people back in 77 with Star Wars seeing like, these holograms of people who can physically talk to them. Now look what we have. We have Skype, we got FaceTime, we got all those things. This is why I'm saying our world's going one step closer to turning into Terminator. So if Skynet ever becomes a real thing, we're fucked.
I mean, I always like to bring people down from the whole AI hype because I work for computers and shit, and I know a little bit about artificial intelligence. It's like, yes, we should be careful. At the same time, AI is not nearly as close, not even close to what people try to describe as the sentient Skynet AI. It's not even close to close. You just have to look at YouTube's algorithms or YouTube's automated systems, how they constantly make mistakes. It's like, no, if the AI really truly existed like that, this errors wouldn't happen.
The whole idea with AIs last time I checked was to remove the human error. But how does that work if the AIs make more mistakes than the humans?
And I can explain that actually. So the best thing is to explain with police data. There's a police system that sends policemen to areas that have high crimes, right? And then this data, then the policemen go there and find the crime, and this data is fed back into the system. So now, guess what happens? Oh, the data says in this area crime will happen, and crime continues to happen in this area because the data that is being fed back to the computer tells that in this area crimes will happen. And it happens that crime will happen there, even though that might not even be the case. Policemen just might search for it. It's like, first of all, its data is garbage that we follow, so it might be biased, that the data we gather. And second of all, the systems, the mathematical systems and behind it are maybe antiquated because these algorithms that are used today are not that far away from something that was discovered in the 90s or 80s. So it's just that now we have the technological possibility to use it. Another example is what is the best doctor, a medical doctor, right, to hire? If you put the data in the computer and let it decide, what will happen is that the black applicants will get denied. You know why? Well, because the historical data says most of the doctors, the good doctors, were white. Because of historical reasons. So it's I get it. So the algorithm, even though it doesn't want to be biased, is automatically biased because it's based on data that is historically already biased. So it's okay, gotcha. So that's why so many errors happen or biases happen because there's already bias in the data. Algorithms are not that smart.
I always said, if you try to base something off of just basic statistics, those things will never be accurate. No matter how fucking these statistics are proven to be 99.9% wrong, but there's still that there's still a 0.1% that could be incorrect, and more often than not, it tends to always be like that. So yeah, we're far from the perfection that people try to say these things are actually gonna be. You, like I said, there's a good chance it might work, but more often than not, it normally tends to fall. It tends to fall flat because of overambition or something like that.
And the people that developing those algorithms, they themselves are like, oh, just data, right? There shouldn't be bias in the data. Not realizing that to have a good data set, like, because the topics about ethics in data wasn't like discussed like 2 years ago. The topic really like started up like, hey, what about like discrimination in data itself? You know, the data. What if the data is already like discriminatory? You know, towards a group or towards a whatever. Like, what if the data is already wrong? If you build an algorithm based on that data, on that training data, then your algorithm is going to be biased as well, even you wanting it to be. It's like a cycle of like, because there will be a human error in the machine as well, because the machines are nothing more than a replication of our brain.
Yes. So, of course, if humans make mistakes, and the fact of the matter that humans are actually making these AIs and stuff, there will always be mistakes.
Exactly.
Like, there is no way. If a human needs to try and make something, there is no human that hasn't made one fuck up in his life. So there's no way you can replicate. You can't let those. You can have them fix a certain thing, but there's always going to be another fuck up to follow after that because of our shortcomings.
Yep.
That's just sadly how humanity works, and I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah, and it's like, and then you have like people like Elon Musk being dipshits and like saying, "Oh yeah, so this Skynet, blah 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 blah." Like, then I ask myself, "What the fuck, dude? Shut the fuck up."
Honestly, the last time I followed Elon Musk was when I saw his son's serial number.
Oh yeah. A gay snakes.
I have absolutely. There is an official way how to pronounce it, but I feel so bad for the teacher that needs to keep writing that each and every single time he needs to write a test or something. Because I don't know how it works over there. I'm assuming he's still in the US. He's not in South Africa anymore.
That's not even allowed here to name your child that way. Because like we have actually laws to prevent like people from getting bullied because of the name.
Yeah, no, that I'm quite well aware of. Like I know about that. But still, like, I feel bad for the teacher that needs to physically write down that name each and every single time they have to do a quiz.
You know, there's like a French letter that is almost written. It is, I think, written like that. It's like it's an A and an I and an A together. I don't know how you read that, but like that's
I have no idea.
But I don't have no idea how it would like AX13. I'm like, fuck off.
Nah.
Elon Musk. I don't hate Elon Musk. Okay, Elon Musk is a very smart person. I'm not gonna deny that he's very smart. But the main reason why Elon Musk is successful is because he's a good marketing person. That's it. He's a good marketing person.
And that's true. Like a lot of these people that are very like rich and successful, they have business backgrounds. Like definitely Donald Trump is a good example. He's a very fucking good businessman because. Yeah, and that's normally 99%. That's 99% of the time why people tend to like gain this kind of success because they know how businesses work. They know how to adapt to try and make profits off of something. And that means capitalizing on certain things like trends and how the world's changing and shit like that, and try and invest early in something that they know is going to work. So yeah, that's probably the only.
I don't think not even necessarily that. Just like they really know how to sell their product. They're good salesmen.
I guess. I guess it's. If you want to put it bluntly, yeah, I guess that's good.
Like they don't even like no. If someone could really predict the market, they would earn a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, that's true.
As much as people like to say, "Oh, you have to follow those 5 steps and become rich and successful," actually, nobody knows.
Yeah, no. Especially, it despises me whenever I have to see these YouTubers that try to say, "Oh, no worries." How am I going to say this? Like, it's these rich assholes that say, just follow this link and follow these 5 steps, and you'll also go home with $12 million a month. Like, that's fucking bullshit. Then you go to the thing, then it costs money that I don't even fucking have. How am I supposed to get the money that you are promising me if I can't even fucking afford the thing?
I mean, that's like, how there's like a whole group of people there's a whole industry focused on harping on the disenfranchised already. John Locke, for example, I think is one of those guys that makes this. They offer like a sales like a sales group, it's a superior pyramid scheme, right? They offer like a sales course for like so and such $1,000, so you can learn how to close deals. But it's never disclosed like what are you closing deals on. So it's like that's what it is. It's a pyramid scheme most of the times, and those people are successful for some reason. There's a whole group of people focused on fucking with the people that already don't have enough. It's kind of disgusting.
Yeah, no, it is kind of like upsetting why people would actually try and take advantage of people like that. I remember a situation I think was also a pyramid scheme that kind of like got me into like nearly in a bit of like a financial.
Well, okay. First of all,
I'm not an idiot, but I mean, like, I remember like in this pandemic, people are trying to look for easy ways to like fucking like get a shit ton of money. Now I remember while I was still looking, because I quit my job like I think it was June or something. But yeah, then I was trying to look for jobs. Then there was this one ad on Facebook for a design job. Then I thought to myself, you know what? Let's go ahead, because you know they market that shit. Then I apply. Then they SMS me, like they just text message me and they say, go to our Facebook page, but only if you are serious about this job. That's the first great flag. And it's like, okay, why the fuck would I have to send? Thank goodness I didn't send them my resume or nothing. Otherwise, I would have probably been in worse shit than I thought I would have been. But anyway, then I what you call it? I go to their Facebook. The first thing is like our page. Second thing is message this number. Only costs like X amount per message. I just don't fucking get it. And then it's like, you know what? I've applied to a million jobs before, and last time I checked, I don't need to do this crap.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an example of a pyramid scheme that I nearly got roped into. These fuckers get paid, you know, like how small of an amount it might be. Imagine just how many people they did fucking get with that, you know, because they had a professional looking Facebook page, so you don't think much of it. Thank goodness they didn't have a fucking like website. Otherwise, I would have probably gotten malware. I would probably not make any fucking money.
Yeah. Did it? Yeah. So what? So they basically were trying to like inflate their numbers of their site by getting a bunch of people to apply and like and follow their Facebook page. So then afterwards could like sell that account to someone, like, or sell those numbers to like a partner, so they could make money on based on it, right?
I'm not really 100% sure on the details, because I already know. When I saw the minute they were asking me money, I was like, nah, this is bullshit. I'm out.
Oh, they were asking you money.
Well, yeah, essentially when you needed to like message them, then they would ask you a certain amount of money, because text messages obviously cost money over here. So let's say, for example, now one message might cost, I'm just going to throw rough estimates here, like $1. Let's say that. You know, that obviously fluctuates depending where you are. So it could be more expensive in other places. It could be cheaper. It doesn't fucking matter. Point still goes. If you send them that message about the, that you're serious about this job, you've already given them that money. So they don't ever fucking have to come back to you. So they're going to like tell you. And if you follow all the steps before they give you like the number to like send them that money, to like physically pay them for that, then you would have already probably shared it to like 10 other people who might be looking for jobs. So they would have already made like $1 out of 10 different people. So $10, that's theirs.
Oh, so it was like a SMS scam, basically.
Yeah, it's pretty much that.
Oh, okay. Those have been around for a while.
Yeah, but it's just, yeah, I know, but like this is the first time I actually got like roped into one, because it was being like hidden as a potential job opportunity that actually responded. And I guess it's a good idea. Prey on people who are jobless because of the fact that most people had to fucking lose their jobs because of this piece of shit pandemic. And now you're gonna scam them into giving you the money that they don't fucking have.
Yeah.
It's just
there's a whole industry that, like I said, there's a whole industry focused on like already fucking over the people that are already fucked over. There's a whole industry. Yeah. And like you said, Facebook, right?
That's where it led to. It was on I found it on a job search website. They contacted me via email. Then they sent me the steps via that way. So because for all that we know, they already probably have my personal information, for all that we know, if they managed to find me on that fucking recruitment website.
Yeah. Because we know for a fact that Facebook has a huge problem with like scams as advertisement on Facebook. Because what they do, like what those scammers do, they have like Facebook actually tries to like combat like malicious ads, But what they do, those scammers, is like they have like they mirror the ads for basically. Your ad you see as a scam, but when someone is like testing if they or trying to figure out if the ad is a scam, it's shown a completely different site. So it's like masking or something like that. They mask the scam for like the test, but if it goes live, the ad goes live, it's basically a scam. And yeah, so it's not that complicated. You can look it up how it works. It's like called masking, I think, or mirroring, masking or mirroring. So one of those two terms. And they basically mask these scams, and then people click on it, and it goes on, and like maybe they sell you data, or maybe you fall for the scam and pay them a certain amount of money. There's this guy Kit Boga that like talks about how people get scammed all the time, or Jim Brown. He like actually hacks the scammers. And like
I think I've seen that video. Yeah, I think one of the videos was called "Calling Scammers Out by Their Names" or something.
Yeah. Kit Boga is that guy, and the other guy is like Jim Brown. He's like Jim Browning, I think. He hacks the scammers and then gives that information to the police force that is near the scammer.
Right, he should do that.
He's like a like how what is his name? Something Phoenix. It turns out he was a drug dealer. He was like a superhero in I think Sydney. It's not Sydney. Was it Chicago? Some crime-ridden place in America. And turns out he was a drug dealer at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Phoenix
Wasn't
Jones.
That Milky Way thing or something? I can't remember what the whole situation. I think I know what you mean.
Phoenix Jones. He was like a superhero, like at like the city, and that was very crime ridden. And it turns out at the end he's a drug dealer himself. Busting the competition. And Jim Brown is actually like an actual like vigilante, because hacking is in itself forbidden. Hacking is not okay.
Well, my friend, he said he had like a philosophy on what he thought about hacking. It's like he said you got hackers and crackers. I think that was the right term. I think
crackers.
Apparently crackers are the people that will attempt to hack you in the intent of malicious, like
those are the hackers.
Yeah, but like I mean, like according to him, that's what he calls a cracker. Now, hackers are just people who just hack just for the sake of studying things, like testing, like, okay, how can I, like testing themselves in a way, I guess. That's just his view on that, and I guess that's fine. I mean, like you can.
I get the view. It's like the difference is one doesn't want to like basically steal information. There are several people, for example, that constantly try to like break into big corporations, and then they go to the big corporation and says, "Hey, I found a vulnerability, pay me." Good point. Not trying to like getting money out of them. They just say, "Hey, we found the bounty. Now pay me the bounty." It's like they're basically bounty hunters.
Yeah, no, it's a good point. He's doing it well. Okay, that's one way of doing it. Yeah, expecting to get paid, but sometimes you get those few people that are actually trying to like help a place without expecting for any monetary gain out of it.
Those exist as well. Those like they're just a hardcore like nerds. They just want to like they're just in for the challenge.
Yeah, no, that's at least respectable.
They're like, I just want to crack the Chinese military, like you do, every day cracking like a government facility, no problem. So it's okay.
I'm just gonna warn him, if he does manage to find a fucking hole just to get through that stuff, I don't think he would want to tell them like, hey, you've got a vulnerability in your system.
I mean, there are people that they're hackers that have very like strong sense of like morality, and they say, hey, we found a vulnerability, here's how to solve it, and then like most of the times they get paid, because the government probably might even hire them, or have them
if they're able to like get into like huge military or top secret stuff, then I guess yes, they would want to use that knowledge to their advantage to like further whatever they want to do. So
they might even hire them as like a full employee, or like as a third party contractor, because like governments are understaffed when it comes to like decently technologically educated people. They're always understaffed, always, because the government doesn't pay enough. Big corporations pay like 5 times as much as like a government institution. Yeah,
I guess, yeah.
not 5 times, but at least 3 times. So the market price for a programmer is like 3 times higher than like the government is willing to pay. So they're constantly understaffed. I know this out of like personal experience.
I see. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That's something that I don't know specifically all that much, but I mean, if you know more about it, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah,
Then.
it's all the personal experience. The government doesn't pay enough money for you to be like. So what basically what happens then is like the government institutions contract third parties, which then cost 3 times as much money instead of hiring directly for a little bit more. So they could like hire the people that cost 3 times more money for 6 times more money.
Yeah.
So it's like instead of like paying just the 3 times, they pay double that. So it's like, oh, you could have just hired them and paid like them more. But that's how the government works. You know, there's very strict regulation when it comes to pay, because pay also implies rank, and then you would have to like have certain responsibilities.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, government and law and technology.
This is why I never focus on that kind of stuff. This is just going to give me a migraine if I have to ever like go back and think about the specifics about all the stuff that they do in the government. Like what happens. I mean, like I have no effect over the situation.
Yeah. We feel like helpless, right? Like we're so small compared to like the actual machinations of our environment. And like since you were born, you have basically no real like influence on anything. So like how much influence do you have?
Well, I'd say just the blunt answer to anyone, like we don't have a lot of influence on that kind of shit. I mean, maybe one day someone will step up and maybe they'll be able to make an influence on the entire situation, but as it stands now, it's no use wasting your breath on this kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I don't even know. Like it's like I said, I'm very cynical. At the same time, I think if you're generally speaking moving in the right direction, right?
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
That was the topic about this, right? It's weird how like we strayed from, oh yeah, the world's going into a much better direction, and this is now where we ended up with.
Yeah, like yes, it's like the slow fast, right? Like the world is moving way too fast, but at the same time, way too slow. You know, it's like we know big corporations, for example, are constantly abusing laws, but because the law works so slow, and big corporations have a lot of influence over the government, the law is really like grinding itself to dust. You know, like one side is saying, hey, please protect the interest of like small business owners and the consumers and the users and the population, and the other grind is like saying, no, we have to keep the interest of like the market, and the market is the most important thing, otherwise other countries are gonna grind us to dust. And then it's like this constant grind to like this constant like really like friction between those two parties, you know, like the wider population, people that are getting fucked over, and then the people that are fucking people over.
Yeah. That's just a sad reality.
And I think generally speaking, we're moving in the right direction. There are more educated people. There are more people that are trying to make the world better. People know about those problems more. I think even knowing about those problems are like already a good thing, right? It's like I know knowledge is bane and shit, you know, like knowing more doesn't make you actually more happier. It makes you more depressed because now you know, and when you know, you cannot unknow. So yeah. Here's a question. Yeah. Would you like to unknow things? I would. If I could be dumb, I would like to be dumb.
I don't know. I kind of have that kind of a substitute that I just literally grew so cynical to the point of the world's bullshit. I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Like my mind just physically blocks that shit out. It's like it's like an impulse now. I just don't care anymore.
Would you like, but like, general question, would you like to be stupid? You know, like you don't understand. I would like to not understand. I would like to like not be able to understand anything. Like just complete bliss, ignorance, yeah, just completely ignorant.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Like if you just don't, yeah, it's not really, yeah, it's not really stupid. It's more like you're just ignorant of an entire thing. And I think that's the type of mindset that I go into, but still it leads into cynicism, right?
Cynicism is just being ignorant but smart.
Exactly. That's pretty much how I am. So I'll just keep it like that. I'll be ignorant but smart. Let's keep that.
Just being smart but oh boy.
Yeah, if that's the note we gotta end on, I think that's gonna be it.
Do you want to, I will ask you, do you want to talk about CDPR?
I guess we can, but like over to the specifics, about how they work. Space, I really don't care about.
Okay,
that.
Okay, let's don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Can we talk? Do you do reviews? That's what I get. Like, can you consider some of your videos reviews? Because I've seen quite a few of them. Like, can you consider them, some of them reviews, or more like commentary let's plays? Because that's, I think, let's plays are a thing of the past, even though some people are still like Splattercat Gaming, for example. There's like pure gameplay and it's still successful with it. But I think the time of like having completely unedited let's play is over. This is a thing of the past.
That's just something that, it's a wreck of its time, and like the only people that are still capable of getting away with it were the pioneers that actually made it popular to begin with. So I don't know. My videos, I have done legit reviews. I did a review on which I still need to make a second part of, but I'm lazy as fuck, about a bunch of Star Wars games. Like, I'd say those are more reviews. And if I'd have to say what my videos are now, I just call them more like montage let's plays. Because if you compare my videos, it seems more like a montage. It's not like it's really structured in any specific way. It's not like things are supposed to flow. It's just what happens in the moment and how I can make fun of that, which happens in the moment. Stuff like that, if that makes sense.
But I would describe your videos as like let's play commentaries, but highly edited. Like zoom ins, cutouts, animation, keyframes and shit like that. It's like what you should do. What should be like the standard for like when you're starting out today, you should not do uncommented, uncommented commentary. You should be like always be like at least as good as the stuff that is out right now, right?
Yeah, that's mentality that I have, that like each and every single video that I make, I try my hardest to make better than the last one, which I think is something that any YouTuber should try and do, is at least strive to be a lot better than you were before and stuff like that. I still have a lot of shit to improve on, but I mean, where I am right now, I think I found my not my niche, but I found my groove and all that shit. And I guess that's the basic way of saying it.
My groove.
I found my groove.
My groove.
We don't need a fucking emperor to have a groove.
Emperor's your groove. Okay, so I would like to talk about one specific thing, because I do reviews about indie games specifically.
Yes, I did see that. I saw that Ubermosh thing. You do a really good job on that.
I think it could be better. I try to improve like my delivery specifically. Like I think doing the podcast plus the streams and like eased up my voice, so like I can deliver it better. It's still not right there, and like still pronunciation fucking sucks sometimes, because I'm not a native. Fuck that. But like I go back and like search for like who else I reviewed the videos, right? Indie games get like a really unfair treatment. They get the 5 million review treatment, which I fucking hate. Like
5 million review.
The 5 minute review treatment. Like 5 minute max. Like the AGNs, the Fextra Lives, the Game Corps, whatever. And one thing that I really notice is that indie games don't get actually finished, because most of the views get when the game releases are viewed, and then the game dies. Basically, the indie games die, so nobody's actually interested in making those reviews. I found one game recently. I got this game from 2017 called 7: The Days Long Gone, and then Fextra Life, one of those big corporate conglomerates that makes like quick videos on like trendy topics, makes a review talking about the whole Gone gameplay, and I noticed something odd. They only showed the tutorial level, and then I go into the commentary, into the comment section, and in one thing that they said in the reviews was like, "Oh, there's no block and no dodging," and then literally one of the comments says, "You can block in combat and you can dodge."
Yeah, you did tell me about that last time. Yeah.
Yeah. So just for an example, and then there's the other example, West of Dead. West of Dead is like a roguelike cover shooter, basically in three like asymmetric cover shooter. And one thing
I want to play that. Yeah,
yeah,
it looks fun.
also one of the things that I noticed, like all the reviews didn't go, it only showed the first and the second level, even though the whole game has like 7. I'm like, did anyone finish the game? And then I noticed nobody mentioned a mechanic about souls, for example, Lost Souls, which is like is a major mechanic to finish the game. And like, oh, so basically nobody finished the game to make a review. Nice.
That's kind of the biggest thing that I think this year that can be compared to is how most people in like journalism has treated like the release of The Last of Us Part 2. Because when that game came out, I don't know if they were like, I don't know what the hell do they call that thing where you're not allowed to like
review embargo,
show off.
Which is bullshit. Okay, I'm gonna call this out here. Everyone that follows the review embargo and everyone that agrees with the spin inspectors can go fuck themselves. If you think review embargoes are okay, you can go fuck yourself. The only reason you get early access to reviews is so you can review the game. If you are restricted to review a game, it's the same as I giving you a car, saying review the car for me, please, but then don't tell people how much it accelerates. That's what it is.
Yes. Yeah.
Please continue.
But like I said, that's the thing with. Well, I have two major examples that I can do in this pretty much memeing and stuff like that. With The Last of Us 2 getting a 10 out of 10 by IGN, and by most accounts, whenever I see a video review or anyone talking about anything, they only show. And I specifically commented on IGN's post the day when that video review came out, because they always showed footage of Ellie's section in the game. Then I literally went on there and I asked them, so does that mean the first half of the game's good? Does that only mean the first half of the game's good? Because if you don't show, because I remember like when this controversy first started, a lot of people were pissed off about this entire character switch where you play as Abby and stuff, and then they kill off one of the most loved characters in the game. I thought that was bullshit when I saw the video review, but when I heard people actually talking that have finished the fucking thing, it's like, are you bitches lying to me now? What the fuck? And also, I think a good thing for review, I don't know if this is following review embargo or if it's just because the guy's an idiot, was that remake of SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom, and where GameSpot gave the thing a 2 out of 10 because they couldn't finish a fucking easy part of the game. It's like, no, this part's too hard. Fuck it, give it a 2 out of 10. Let's fuck off to our own, like, let's go on with our day. Let's play something that is shit and give it a 10 out of 10. Oh, look at Ghost of Tsushima. It's so much better than Last of Us. 8 out of 10.
So I hate numbers, the number thing already. Like, I think it's very, like, stupid, I would say. Because the game is like, a book, for example, is very simple. A book is like the covers, the paper, and what is written in there, right? But a game is like, it has like music and voice acting if it has any. Then it has the story itself. Then it has the gameplay. Then it has the graphics. Then it has the how all things work together and controls. So it's like it has like only for you would have to give numerical values for all of those things. For all of those things you would have to give numerical value, and then you would like have like a final value, which would be uninteresting anyways, because some people don't care about the story. Like, I think most games get a pass. Most games have a shitty story. It's gone so far that people describe, oh, this movie is bad. It has a story like a video game, because video game stories are very convenient. A happened, then B happened, then C happened, then E happened. Like, it's very badly written most of the times. So but for some reason, it gets a pass. And I think most people don't care about story. So if I, as a reviewer, I grade like the gameplay a 10 out of 10, but the story like a 0 out of 10, I think most people would say, okay, I don't care about the story, I can skip it. I will focus on the gameplay only, and the gameplay is good. But if you give like a game a 10 out of 10, which is impossible. No game should ever receive a 10 out of 10, by the way. It would literally be the best game ever made, and no other game could ever reach it again, meaning that you would not need to play any other game. And it would appease anyone. Anyone would be happy with it. That's a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, first of all, it would be perfectly made. No bugs, no glitches, not anything. Perfectly paced, perfectly voice acted, perfect story, perfect gameplay, and nobody would ever complain about anything. Everyone will love it. That's a 10 out of 10. But you cannot give a game 10 out of 10 because it will always have some flaws.
Especially now with how corporations nowadays treat their games.
Yeah.
Most games are unfinished anyway, so I mean, there's really no point.
People are stupid anyways, right? They're gonna pre-order the shit anyway, so who gives a shit? Let's release the unfinished game.
That's pretty much why I will never in my whole entire life pay for early access stuff. I think I only paid for one thing, and I think that was what was it? I can't even remember what it was. But point still goes, I think I only paid for one early access thing, and that's not really that bad. Yeah. But the fact of the matter, I still don't like the entire idea of charging people for early access, because you're basically charging for a fucking demo.
Yep. Yep.
That's how I see it.
Charging for an open beta, basically. I think early access get a bad rap, but it's misused to no hell, and because there's also no accountability. You know, you don't have like an automated system that gets you money back once the game stops being developed.
Yes. Especially the same shit with Kickstarter, and that's also the further thing why I believe I'm not going to pay for fucking early access or support a Kickstarter, because the game itself might turn out to be shit, for all that we know.
Yeah.
Or even in a worse situation, the game might be cancelled, and I'm not really ever sure if those people, like, if they had a huge backing, will they ever be able to repay every single person that funded the game?
Yeah.
That's the big thing. So it's like, I would probably be shoving my money to a game that I don't even fucking know if it's going to be coming out within the next month. If the game sucks, that's fine. At least I knew my money went somewhere, but still.
I have backed up 2 Kickstarters, but because I personally know those people. You know, if they fuck up, I can go to their houses and suck up my stuff.
Yeah, I sadly do not have those privileges, so yes, I can understand.
So and it's like everything I've seen so far, it's been like the development has been going steadily, and I've been able to play like the early demos like steadily. So
yes, so yeah,
one is a porn game. One is a porn game, by the way, and the other one is like a pixel game, pixel point and click.
Wow, you had me at pixels.
I thought boobs. Boobs.
Hey, it could be like pixel boobs. We don't fucking know.
I mean, I'm okay with every boobs, you know. Boobs on man, boobs on woman, pixel boobs, real boobs.
Cyberpunk is the game for you. Which I still haven't played yet.
I thought you hadn't played already.
Dude, I am so busy with my job right now. I don't really get time to play any games, actually.
No, all work, no play. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah. Work is more important anyway, because with that money I make, I can play more. So hey.
Yeah. I think at some point I will need to move away from like Germany. Like I think with the money I have right now in my bank account, I could survive in like in a country where like the price is like where like the living costs are not so high. You know, I could survive probably for a year. Like no, not for a year, but like quite a long time.
Okay. I guess that's fair.
So I've been saving up since I don't know 17 or something like that. So
shit.
I've been saving up a lot. Like, you know, I'm not spending much money. The only thing I spend money on food, games, which like I already have like a gigantic backlog that I will never finish.
Oh Lord.
And that's it.
We're gonna talk backlogs now.
Oh jeez, how much do you have?
Well, I'll let you start, because I get the feeling yours is much bigger than mine.
Okay, so I just have 229.
200.
Yeah, what? I have reviewed from those. I have reviewed. Let me see, 54.
Oh Lord!
And so I mean, I'm already a sub 200. You know, I'm already sub 200. I have to finish 68. The other ones don't have like finish, like in a sense of like they have like achievements, and all like, and like right now I'm playing set 9 or like in the maybe category. I really want to like do a video on Remember Me, you know, the ass game.
Yes. Capcom special game.
Special delivery. No, it's if you want to talk numbers, like it's an average game at best. Okay, it's an average game at best.
That I agree with.
I love it though. I love it. It's like
and that's
it's like one of those things. Like I know it's so average. Like it's more, you could not. If you said this game was made by like a corporate suit, I would believe you. I would never believe you.
Well, it's good. Like if you love a game so much, but you can still at least see your flaws. At least that you as a gamer, it just shows that you're not blinded by any type of bias.
Yeah, I try to. Like, of course, I will be blinded by some bias. You know, like maybe political bias or else social bias or whatever bias. But I try to like.
But I mean, at least you like admit that the game has its fuck ups.
Yeah,
like, that's what I mean. It's
like,
not like, nah, this ass is beautiful. There's no flaws.
No flaw. If you talk shit on the ass, I will hunt you. Okay, this ass is beautiful. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yes,
but like, yeah, the combat system is like super like flat. Like, there's like a few combinations in it, but that's basically it. You will be doing the same things over and over again. There's like one winning like strategy you can use. The other thing is like. The story is like shallow as fuck, and by the end of the day, by the end is like it's just a fucking cliffhanger. I'm like, fuck off.
7 years later, we're still waiting.
I think the whole thing is discontinued. But I would like to have. I would like to see like a finished like another game in this universe. Maybe not even like the same person. Expanding like the one's unique and mechanic of like. Turning back memories or like not refreshing, but like redoing memories and like forcing people to do certain stuff, like killing themselves or like letting them believe certain things. Like, it's very interesting. But you only use 4 times in the game, so you can't like really use it like in the game itself as a mechanic. For example, trying to like sneak your way through, for example, like by changing memories of like certain security drones and shit like that. Like I like the ideas in this game, but like just the ideas are not developed enough, so they are like like almost there. So that's why it's average. I found a few glitches and bugs in there that you could use to speedrun this game, by the way.
No, I think I still have my copy somewhere, but I'm not really gonna look for it now.
You have the physical copy? I also have the physical copy.
Yeah, no, physical copies. I will never go digital. Unless COVID strikes back badly.
But my physical copy is just the Steam key.
Oh, is it the Steam key?
Yeah, I just have the box.
I have the physical copy, but my 360 is broken, so I can't even fucking play it now.
Oh boy.
Actually, no, my brother fucking stole the thing from me.
Oh, that motherfucker.
Oh well, he just lives across like 2 blocks from me, so I can get it back anytime. I'll just steal the game and his Xbox. I mean,
steal the game. You stole the game from me. I stole both from you.
I stole the thing that you stole.
Oh, remember when you could like have games that were finished on CD and you could put it in the console and play them? Whoa!
I remember the PlayStation 2.
Jesus Christ, that must be like a decade ago.
I'd say 2. Well, the PS2 came out in 2000, right? So I mean, it's 2
decades ago.
Yes, we got 2 decades of we got 2 decades, and this is why we say the world's evolving in a good way, but very slowly. We get games that look amazing, play amazing, but now they're shit because they're never fucking finished.
Yeah, that's true. Oh boy.
That's the thing I've spoken so much to one of my best friends about, like, the fact of the matter, like, it was the good old days because back then there wasn't patches, the internet wasn't as advanced back in 2000 as it is now, obviously. So I guess like data and shit was gonna be very hard to transfer anyway if a game did suck and stuff. But you knew if you were like playing games on the PS1 or the PS2, hell, even the early years of the 360 and the PS3, if a game sucked, that's because they fucked up. It's not corporate meddling could probably be a reason why, but I mean, like, primarily it's because they didn't care enough to make a good game. Corporations, big corp bad, obviously, they fuck over. And if you know a game was good, then it was good. There wasn't any patches, there were nothing. Fucking nothing. You just got a game that was good, and that was it.
Yep. I mean,
not even a fucking game that is good, but after like two terabytes of patches, then it's even gonna be better. But yeah, as you were saying.
I hate how we have accepted that a game is not finished and we're basically playing quality assurance or like
Yes.
playtesting afterwards, and then suddenly things can change vastly. You know?
Yeah.
If your game is not ready, put it on early access then. Like, make it on early access, work on it for another year so you get feedback. But don't release it.
Yes. I guess
At the same time, you could always have, like, game testers exist for a reason. Instead of spending the money in hype and marketing, maybe just like most of the times, like the game's budget is like you can half of it is mostly used on marketing. So if a game costs like 300 million to make, you can be assured 150 million of those 300 were made for marketing.
Yes.
So out of those 150 million, you take 50 million and push it through like quality assurance and testing, you know, and then you fix those bugs or those glitches or gameplay systems. And one of the things that you already should use when you're making a game is, or anything, even like a video. If you're making a video, music or anything, scope it down. You know, you have limited time, scope it down, like make it smaller, and more tighter, make it smaller but tighter, and so on and so forth. It's like I hate that it is this way. I know that early access can be a force for good, but it's mostly used like bad way. And I hate that we have accepted that a game can be released broken, and then everyone in a few months will forget that it was broken, and everyone like praise their gods. Like No Man's Sky is a prime example. Instead of like, what should have happened?
Bring that one up.
What should have happened? The Fallout 76 is better, actually a better example. What should have happened? Fallout 76, the day it came out and it was a broken mess. Everyone, and I mean everyone, even if you liked the game, should have dropped the game and never touched it again, and shown the corporation that it's not okay. That's what should have happened. But of course, dumb fucks, Bethesda fanatics continue playing the game, and even if you enjoy it, okay, it's fine to enjoy a broken mess, okay, it's fine to enjoy like broken games. There's nothing wrong with that. But even if it's okay with that, it just sends the wrong thing. Plus, afterwards they put a bunch of microtransactions in where people also spend money on it, which is like, why? But yeah, like I hate that it's normalized now that a game can come out broken and people will defend it. Nintendo, or it's like there's so many stories. There's so many stories like Nintendo making the same thing. Nintendo like fracking over like the melee scene and Splatoon and all those shit. And people still like, no, we stand for Nintendo. Nintendo can protect the IP. I'm like, okay, it's like
this is just another prime example of people that just don't know what they want. Yeah, I guess that's the easiest way how you can say it. People just don't know what they want. They think that, you know, okay, they love this one IP from Nintendo, so you know, let's defend that. And then Nintendo fucks you over and is like, oh, you're pissed for 2 weeks, and then Nintendo says sorry, and then everything's all right again. So it's constantly like, I don't even know how I'm gonna say this. It boggles my mind with how people sometimes fucking like how people think. They forgive Isn't that what they call Stockholm syndrome? Isn't that the purpose? They're basically forced to believe that the thing is good or is going to get better, and when they try to break away, the person keeping them like in captivity just keeps convincing them, and then they just kind of get used to it, and then they'll stop the more and more. You know? I guess that's the best way to explain the situation with Nintendo. Like, oh, this game. Nintendo's doing a lot of stupid shit. The MCA striking. If you just put Mario's fucking M on the screen, you can't even have 2 seconds of a Mario Kart theme. But no, let's put Sephiroth and Smash Brothers.
And everyone, Sephiroth! Woo! Woo! Sephiroth and Smash Brothers! So Nintendo's the best company ever! And then everybody forget about the Smash problem, or the Splatoon problem, or the ARMS problem, or the problem of like shutting down Pokemon Uranium, or shutting down the Samus like remake, or like fucking over like people that try to like make their online connectivity better. Yeah, but Sephiroth in Smash, boys, let's go.
Yeah, we'll keep you happy for 4 months, and then you'll be pissed at us for another 4 days, and then we'll just fucking, I don't know, release that Mario porno that Nintendo legally still has. Do you know about that story?
Yeah, they copyright strike or DMCA claimed the porn. Like, fuck you, Nintendo.
So now Nintendo legit has official fucking porno of Mario.
Oh, they're so
Yeah,
stupid.
maybe they'll just do a fucking like what was it called, DC Black or something, that they want to like put like Joker in so that they can actually like have those IPs in a more R-rated setting. So we just should have Nintendo After Dark.
Nintendo After Dark, yo! Or actually make another company that is like not connected to Nintendo, but it's a subsidiary. So it's like, and then release all the bad, the violent art games there.
Well, I mean, okay, Nintendo's already kind of fucked themselves over when it comes to like being just a family-friendly platform. I mean, if you release something like No More Heroes on Switch, and you would allow something like Mad World on the Wii back in 2008, I think you might have overstepped your boundaries a little bit.
Yeah. And then of course you have like the media pundits, be it on either side, trying to defend those companies. The video made about the CDPR, you have like on one side the quartering, horrible source information, never listen to this guy. And then when the shit hits the fan, you know, when the game comes out and it turns out, oh, it was a broken mess and maybe it was because of crunch, then you see the 180 so fast. Yeah, boys, I'm with you guys. So you have all these media pundits trying to defend those companies, and when shits hit the fans, they're like, oh no, I was never for them. So yeah, it's like, come on, boys. You know, it's like, have a spine at least, you know, if you want to be a corporate pundit, then be a corporate pundit, you know?
Yeah, good point.
No, I'm just like pushing a little bit. I like when people change their minds, okay? If everyone, I wish everyone would realize now that Nintendo and CDPR and Microsoft and Activision or whatever company you sim for is not your friend.
Oh, don't say that on Twitch, by the way.
You what?
You said don't simp them.
Yeah, don't. Oh,
Don't-
oh yeah.
don't say that on Twitch.
No.
No, don't say that on Twitch. Simp naughty.
No, you can't. You know, the N word is not a global ban word, but simp is now.
Yes, I don't understand like how people. I fucking also don't get it. Actual terms that we use to like belittle people are still considered in some regard all right, but you just say something that the internet came up with, and now that's fucking wrong.
I would be
you
okay.
See, this is why the world is progressing slowly.
Yeah, it's slowly fast, you know. I would be okay with the N-word gone. I would even be okay with cunt gone, okay? I don't give a shit. Cunt, you can take it away. Fucking ass, fuck that. If you take those away, I will actually slap you. But like the N-word, cunt, all of those words can go. I don't mind. I don't need to use them. Okay, they don't need. I like to use the word cunt because it sounds very cool. But you know, who gives a shit? They can go. But simp is the first word they will ban globally. Is that what? Can we say big or bad? Can we say that?
Can we get your catchphrase in here? Let's get your T-shirt ready.
Can we get a big or bad?
Your Carl Lucas merch on Teespring.
Isn't Teespring horrible when it comes to like this shit?
I have no idea. I just know everybody, like small YouTubers, sell this stuff there. So I mean,
I should
if they.
I should hire like someone and as the art one of my two artists I know that do shit to make a big or bad shirt and sell it as like a thing. Big or bad.
Yeah.
me holding like the words big or bad.
Yeah, I guess I can go. You can go for that.
Oh boy, it's a little bit frustrating, especially when then people, media pundits, you know, try to like defend the companies on top of all of that instead of saying, "Hey, take the L, you fucked up. Gamers, come on, let's rise up." You know, gamers rise up.
Yeah.
I use Reddit sometimes. Cool. Do you want to?
I also use Reddit.
Do you want to see do you want to know what it was all about? So someone started asking for those giving advice, you know, like it would be cool. I'm hanging out in a new YouTuber subreddit, you know, like I'm a aficionado because sometimes you find gold there, you know, find some channels that you didn't know about.
Yeah, like I know indeed it helped me find a few people, and I ended up turning friends with them.
Yep, that happens. And one of the things was like having like qualification, like your sub count and your view count or anything like that, so you can give advice. And my answer was basically, sub count is like the worst possible measure you can have, because I know people that have like a million subs and have like maximum like 3K views per video. So it's like,
But
yeah, that exists. Like I know quite a few people. I never, I would have to search for them again, but like those exist. So sub count is like really bad when it's concerned like success, whatever, and like also quality. Like just having as big view sub count doesn't mean your videos are quality, have any quality, and even have like views like on your video doesn't mean your video has high quality. You know, like when it concerns quality, it doesn't mean jack shit. And so someone of course says someone that doesn't get enough views shouldn't be telling you, shouldn't giving anyone advice. I'm like, yeah, referring to me. I'm like, yeah, I know. That's why I didn't give advice.
Yeah.
Like, I know. I know. Okay. Don't need me to do with me like that. You know. No, just kidding. I think one person that deserves to be at the top is Zenny. Do you know that guy?
I've never. No.
Zenny. Zenny. I'm gonna send you.
All right, cool.
Gonna send you the. The problem is like there's another guy called Zenny, and he's way bigger. So maybe like.
That doesn't, and immediately right there, that channel will never be found just because of an algorithm.
Here. Oh, okay. So no, he's Zenny with an E, and the other guy is Zenny with like an A. Okay, I'm gonna send it over.
Okay, I see.
There you go. So I think he's up there, like with like he deserves to be with the big boys. You know, he deserves to be with the big boys. Delivery, script, transitions, the whole animation shtick. He deserves to be one of the big boys, and like that's why I kind of like hate this idea of like, oh yeah, I just have to work hard and then everything is gonna be fine. And like, yeah, that's not entirely true, is it?
It's good for morality, but that's not going to really help with the corporations. The same problem with people that actually have degrees in like specific fields that don't even get jobs, you know, like some guy might actually physically know how to do brain transplants while they're blindfolded, but no, just because one guy says they can do that on a piece of paper but has no practical experience doing it whatsoever will actually get a job. So that's completely disappointing.
What was the whole thing? Or like economics, like people studying economics, and like sure, certain people are really smart studying economics and like they know what they're dealing with, like, but most economists are fucking are actually just scammers. to be quite honest, like I study like economy, just bachelor's degrees, like very basic principles, but like even the basic principles is like a little bit scammy, you know. Like I just say, you know, if you're economists, you kind of not really studying a science, you know. There's like no reproduction in economy, and what worked once can at the next time not work at all.
Yeah, no, that's very true.
Marketing, same thing. Like it works once, the other time it doesn't work.
You do get those odd occasions where the same thing might work twice, but more than often than not, it's not really going to work.
Yes. And like especially on YouTube, like YouTube tries to like changes its like rules all the time so that the people that have a lot of money and know how to exploit the systems don't go behind it. So what works today might not work tomorrow, and what works tomorrow might not work next year. Yeah,
that's very true.
Remember when like circles and arrows were like super, like circles and arrows were like super like prevalent on thumbnails?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hardly find them anymore.
And that's just another proof of like trend and how things basically change. Now you need to pull off like a shocked face just in order to get people's attention.
Yep.
Have some sort of clickbaity thing that kind of well, in some ways, just false. This is like a YouTuber's version of false advertisement and stuff like that, which is very bad.
Oh, you won't believe what we did! Gone wild.
Oh my goodness, we found a fifth wheel in a car in GTA 5.
Gone sexual.
Oh my lord. Yeah, but still, even if we make fun of stuff like that, that sadly is how YouTube kind of changes as well when it comes down to how people present themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I it's always the love-hate relationship with me and YouTube. It's like, yeah, YouTube's I kind of love the platform. At the same time, like, it's a big corp, and what do you say about big corp? Fill in the blanks.
I'm pretty sure like most people will stand with you on that comment, especially with YouTube and how poorly they've been handling stuff. I don't even know, is COPPA still a thing?
Yeah, like I actually want. Now remind me. I actually want to make a video on that, like how everyone like screamed out of their lungs, like, "Oh no, COPPA is gonna destroy everything," and nothing happened.
I completely remember something like
nothing happened.
YouTube would have. Yeah, but I remember like there was like this entire rumor, and I don't remember who started it. This was the only time I paid attention because it's like, oh fuck, this was like the first year I was starting to actually do YouTube and try and take it seriously. And then apparently I heard something that they would like. I don't know why I'm going to use this as an example, but this is sadly fact, and this was on Twitter as trending, so people don't judge me too much. YouTube would have done in 2018, I think it was 2018, when this COPPA situation was this bad, than what Pornhub did now. Like, where they purge unverified content.
Yeah, purge like everything. Everyone that doesn't have a verified account, gone in an instant.
Yes. Do you see? And the problem with YouTube, the reason why that pissed me off is the fact that, look, not like I wasn't really even thinking about myself. I was just thinking like YouTube is essentially also like a hard drive full of infinite space. If you want to like keep posting, like what you call it, if you like started posting family videos, your kids' first steps, your first wedding, stuff like that. It's like well, I wouldn't say it's probably more secure than something like OneDrive or like Google Drive and stuff like that. But you're telling me just because those people didn't make a profit on any way, they would have lost that. Yeah. Those probably were the only places where they were able to actually like to store those memories, and then if YouTube went and took that away, they would lose those memories forever then. Yeah. And then I would have, if they have done that, I would solely believe YouTube would be dead now. And I don't know what kind of a negative repercussion that would have made for YouTubers that literally, like what you call it, that makes a living off of YouTube. And I'm not talking about people like the fucking Paul brothers or PewDiePie, because I'm pretty sure those people have made enough money they don't even need to do YouTube
they don't
anymore.
need to make videos probably.
But I'm talking about smaller YouTubers that still need to like rely on Patreon and stuff just like that. So they would have quit YouTube. People would stop watching it because if some people, I don't know, like I said, this is purely statistical and it will never be right, but like what is I'm even saying? Like, I have bad habits. If my mind is set on something too much, I sometimes
it's purely theoretical. That's what I mean.
Right? Yeah, I guess that's the best way of saying it. Yeah, like it just pisses me off to think that's what would have happened. Let me just put this bluntly, because sometimes I'm shit at explaining things. If YouTube would have gone through with that, it would be dead now. Simple as that.
Yes.
People would have lost their jobs. They would have the only source of income that they would have had is gone, and yeah, they would have had to move over to a new one, and that would have been perfect opportunity for like this.
I would have loved it. I would have loved it to YouTube to be gone, and then gone up from the grasp of alphabet. I would have I like half, right? Like I'm like, of course I'm not like happy for the people that will lost their jobs, but I would love to YouTube to like completely gone. Like just go away. Like it's too big for now. It's too big now for like to be any of any value. Like it's way too restrictive and way too open at the same time. People with money get better treatment, like every other platform, but like at the same time, it doesn't do anything to make the platform better. So I think two things happened with YouTube when the COPPA thing came. They didn't explain it correctly, and two, a lot of people didn't understand how it worked. Fucked up the explanation. One of those big people were like Chadtron or whatever this fucking name is, and the game theorists. Chatronic, yes, exactly, and the game theorists. They fucked up their explanation so fucking much and didn't understand what the implications actually were. Nothing happened, by the way. COPPA is like nothing happened. COPPA didn't do anything.
But can you actually blame them for the poor explanation?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can, because they have lawyers. They have groups behind them. If they would have gone to the lawyers and asked, hey, what is like the best explanation here, they would say the lawyers would have said, yeah, not much, but like people want to jump on the bandwagon. I remember like months and months people asking, I do animation, should I ban? I have an anime avatar, should I change my avatar, or should I delete all my content? Like, oh, come on, fuck off, shut the fuck up. Nothing is
that's
gonna
the
happen.
scariest part. And that most of the people that would have panicked at that point were people that, well, I can say we can either say have either started actually getting monetized on YouTube or are in that like minority of you. Well, I guess it's actually more of a majority of YouTubers that do make some ad revenue, but they need to rely on sources like Patreon just to get like
Should
a
never.
profit. The work that they
By
do.
the way, you should never rely on YouTube to actually make money. You should always go for outside sources like Patreon, Subscribestar, direct links, whatever, like affiliation links and merch. YouTube is like the most unstable shit whatsoever, and everyone that relies on YouTube to make money solely just doing something wrong.
Yeah, no, and if we're talking about like YouTubers that like get false information, like one of the YouTubers that I respect the most, and that's why he's my favorite YouTuber, that Catacarus. He was one of the few YouTubers that actually knew. He was one of the few YouTubers that knew this was not going to affect us in any way possible.
He said, "Yeah, calm down, you dicks."
Yeah, basically. I don't remember precisely what I remember. It was funny because he wore a Mario overall when he did it. So.
Yeah, he said, "Calm down, you fucking cunts. Nothing's gonna happen."
Yeah. Like I said, that's why I respect him the most, because he knows, he actually checks facts way before the same situation. Like when I remember, like when people were trying to ban It 2's poster because it was scaring children. I mean, first of all, I don't understand. Well, first of all, I can see it's poor marketing putting horror movie posters out in the open with children would be. That's a what you call it, a bad
blunder.
choice.
A fucky wacky.
A blunder on the fucking economy. But still, like, the way how parents are overreacting about it is like, oh, my children should not see this. Then it's like, okay, hang on, wait. I remember the poster vividly. It's just Pennywise's eye, and the kids are standing on the makeup. And so you say kids aren't allowed to be
fucking
like John
soccer moms. So, fucking soccer moms. It's always the fucking soccer moms. My child is too pure for this.
And it's fucking Karens that have like the most that are the most self-entitled shits that I've ever seen in my life. Like I don't know what this guy's name is. He has a pretty huge following on YouTube. I think he's called Redditor or something, where he just reads Reddit stories, and the shit I've heard about the Karens and stuff, those are fucking nightmares. I don't know.
I think someone explained it correctly. Those are people that are like, this is stereotypical Karen, right? Like married, white, like end mid 30s, beginning 40s, have one or two childs, are probably unhappy with their lives. Their husbands are hardly home because they work too much. So they're like, in their own world, they have power in a sense, but are ultimately very powerless. They feel like all of us, you know. We know the world is fucked, but we try to exercise our a little bit of control over our own lives. And those people, they try to exercise this kind of power on others based on, for example, if they can buy something or if they feel they are correct in that situation.
Yeah.
So it's more like a psychological appearance, like, oh, they want to exercise the last amount of power they can, because at home they can't do much because they have to take care of the children's. Like their husbands are probably not home, or like their life partners can be a woman. Like, don't give a shit. Lesbians can also be Karens, okay? And you know, the gays can also be Karens.
Anybody can be Karens.
Yeah, anybody
really
can be Karen. Really. Like they're probably married or in a relationship, can't really exercise any kind of power and feel powerless. And the moment they find a place that they could exercise power, you know, they take their chance and drive it and go with it.
Yeah.
And that's like, I think it's kind of sad. It's kind of sad why Karens exist, you know? It's kind of sad.
Yeah, but if you look at it in a psychological way, I think really it even damages them way more, because they think they try to exert power, and if that backfires in their face, they see people aren't like listening to them, it can really drive them even more insane.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, nobody takes me serious. Like, yeah, of course nobody's taking you serious because you're making a scene, Karen.
Exactly.
Calm down, Karen.
Next word Twitch is gonna ban.
Oh, okay. I can imagine that.
No, I think we give it like 2 months, and they'll like have a patent for it and have that thing fucking go through, and just you can't say Karen anymore. Sorry if your birth certificate says that. You're not allowed.
I mean, if you want to be like super strict, Karen is kind of a sexist term. Like if you want to be super strict with like our definitions.
Well, I never knew it was like it was a sexist term.
I
But
mean,
the fact that people,
if you like I said, if you want to be like super like asinine with your word definitions, you can like push it into that direction.
okay, I guess
If you
this
want to be
makes
like
sense.
super asinine with definitions, yes, I guess because like it's referring to like a middle-aged white woman with 2 children, so it's like it's referencing like specifically women and so on and so forth.
Yeah, as well. Yeah, now that you mentioned that, I guess Karen can also be seen as a form of like a stereotype nowadays. Like stereotypes aren't really a good thing to like.
There's even a haircut for that, right? Like if you have the haircut, the Karen haircut.
I used to have that haircut when I was working for like in my design job for the first 4 months.
I actually
when I
had,
look
had the photo with the Karen haircut as well.
Oh my lord! It's a face.
It was just a face, Mom.
And I fucking hell, this is what happens if you listen to metal too much. It's not like you're trying to copy a Karen. It's like you're trying to copy a member of Black Veil Brides when they were still emo.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Maybe someday the Karen haircut will be hip with the kids again. Like give it 20 years or so.
Probably,
Give
yeah.
it 20 years or so, and then it becomes okay again.
Mm.
Yeah, it's. I think it's sad. But again,
Yeah.
like the think of the children thing is like kind of stupid.
Yeah, that's like that leads into the whole thing with the snowflake generation nowadays, with people getting too easily offended over the smallest little things. Really, like I remember back when we were kids, we were subjected to stuff like this is a very sensitive topic, and I don't like talking about it a lot. But this just goes to show like how much more accepting people were about stuff back in the days, and I can't believe like how many cartoons made fun of this. But a lot of the times, how many cartoons in the old days, like in the 60s and 70s and the 80s, do you remember them putting a gun to their head and pulling the trigger? I'm not going to say
Often.
the word, but you know what I'm referring to.
Suicide, killing themselves, going no.
Yeah, but I'm not.
Going
yeah, I'm not
nope
gonna
on them.
Like when I was watching, it's like fucking hell, the shit we watched as kids, and I remember vividly watching some of those episodes. And it's like I fucking never realized what those poor things were doing.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
But now, like we survived that, and I mean, we had stuff like Courage the Cowardly Dog. Where I remember one of the rooms was room 666.5, and Lord only knows how we got away with watching that.
That was not made for children.
No,
Courage the Cowardly Dog was not made for children.
Even a worse case situation that I've even realized now, like my parents always was heavily against me watching Yu-Gi-Oh, and I could never understand why. But looking back at it, I understand every single thing. Especially if you go from the English, where they obviously had to censor a bunch of shit because, you know, 4 kids.
Yeah.
My least favorite dubbing company in the world because of the fucking stupid shit that they have to go through just to censor stuff for kids. And if you go to the actual Japanese stuff, then it's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, One Piece, for example. Like people, like in the One Piece universe, they don't talk about it that much, but people actually die. You know, like like there's this guy Arlong, like one of the pirates. And like the main protagonist actually kills Arlong. You know, it's never talked about, but like the implication is there. He's dead. He was killed.
But didn't they like ease up on that rule? Because I swear, like I remember seeing one episode where his brother died in his arms and was.
Oh yeah, later on, yes, of course. But like Arlong, the pirate, he actually was killed by the main protagonist. Not many people talk about it, but like the main protagonist killed one of the pirates. And they don't talk about it that much, but like, yeah, killing exists. You know, murder exists in that universe.
No. He's just been sent to the Shadow Realm. That's all.
Yeah, sent to the Shadow Realm.
You know, to be completely honest, I think that's something the dub of Yu-Gi-Oh did worse. Because think about it. If you watch the proper Japanese thing, which I've been starting to do recently, it's much better, believe me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm assuming you've seen the Japanese one as well at one point, have you?
Yeah, a little bit. And it's much better, to be honest, yeah.
I would just fucking be happier with dying. Because when they get sent to the Shadow Realm, where they go to that graveyard, and then fucking the Grim Reaper just decides, I don't know what the fuck they call it.
You're going to the void, basically.
Yeah, I'd much rather just die.
You're going to live forever in the void.
Yeah, because, you know, that's just and apparently that's something that Dub came up with, was the Shadow Realm. So they just essentially created hell in Yu-Gi-Oh.
What about guns turned into like water guns or like fingers?
That's why I hate 4Kids so much, because they never know. The thing is, they make it so much for kids, and this was at a point, we all know when Dragon Ball Z came out, right?
Yeah.
It was in the 1980s, and that was already like, that was something that's something kids could watch. I watched it when I was a kid, and that was like the raw, unfiltered shit with more blood in it than fucking. Well, okay, it's not really that much, but still, it was probably the bloodiest.
People get hurt. People get hurt. That's it. That's the main.
Well, yeah, people. Yeah, but hang on, what was the topic now again? But the fact that like 4Kids had to like censor stupid shit, like, and let's talk about this. They censored guns, okay?
Yeah.
In Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
So when people are running around, they have their fingers cocked. Like, what are they gonna do? Shove their eyes out and stuff like that. It just makes one of those scenes. But 4Kids also did something else with one of my favorite franchises, and that was Sonic X. Again, an example. 4Kids made me want to watch Sub.
Yeah.
So, and the problem is with that, in that show, they had guns, but instead of sounding like real fucking machine guns and pistols, guess what?
Laser.
Yes. Why the fuck? At least stay consistent. Fucking hell.
And at the same time, you have like a country where like guns are like I saw a video on Twitter today where like I don't know, like a 5-year-old child was basically shooting with like a full like a half automatic machine gun and like a pistol. I'm like, what? Like,
how does your child even fucking get access to that? Is the first
the family probably, but like.
Yeah, that's their fault, yeah.
Like, you have a country where, like, guns are, like, praised to no end. The military is, like, the highest thing you can reach. You're like, praise the military, thank the troops. Wow, bomb the blackies. But, like, at the same time, like, oh, no, guns and children? We can't show that to them. Killing the murder? No. Think of the children. Boobies?
Yeah.
Those don't exist. Fuck that.
Yeah, here, let's give my son a fully loaded gun. Let him have fun. I'm also this is also why I'm heavily against like having like I used to do it. I used to have like gun toys when I was a kid, but I'm still also heavily against the whole idea now with you kind of distort the child's mind if you do stuff like that, because how will they know what's the difference between a real gun and a fucking fake one, right?
Yeah, I'm not so keen on the whole nerf. I'm not even so keen on the whole nerf thing. Like, I think it can be fun, the nerf blaster thing, and I like shooting myself. Like I try to go to the range and shoot. I don't shoot that much anymore. Like, it's been years since I shot anything. But like, generally speaking, I don't think for someone that has experience with guns, nobody should own a gun. Okay. Not even the police. Not even the police should have guns. I'm just saying. Not even the military should have guns. To be honest. To be quite honest. No, not really. You shouldn't have guns.
I see your point, because guns are like the biggest fucking causes of violence. If you think of anything, well, except now, fucking obviously when Caesar was still alive. Okay. Yeah. Those are normally the one thing that's linked to the most like human violence on this planet so far. What did they use in World War One? Guns. What did they use in World War Two? Guns. What did they use in the Cold War? Guns.
Big guns.
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I get where you're coming from, but yeah, like, that's going to be a very hard thing for people
hard sell,
like,
of course, because there's a lobby behind it, and lobbies, they want to sell, blah 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 blah. Can we bring the sentence back, huh?
Let's be completely honest. Do you think even the world would be a better place if guns was just to cease to exist all of a sudden?
I think it wouldn't become better, but it would become more like difficult to start shit.
Yeah.
Because how much damage can you deal with like a troop of 5 people in like an arsenal of weapons, Like if you have like 5 people, 2 a tank and like maybe 2 heavily militarized vehicles, you can raid a city. You can raid like a small city with like only 5 people. That would be impossible if you had like swords and shit. Like how with 5 people, if you go against a whole city. Like, you can never do enough damage to that city. If you have like if you have a tank and 2 heavily armed vehicles, with 5 people, you can level that city almost.
Yeah. And you're just talking about now, like, how you won't be able to combat that with a sword. I know there's this one YouTuber that finally made the first proper working lightsaber.
Yeah,
So
it's not a real lightsaber, actually.
no, yeah,
It doesn't even really work. Like you can really cut stuff with it.
yeah, but I'm just thinking, can you imagine, like, if they mass produce that thing, then they go into war fucking with that?
Yeah, that would be interesting. That would be an interesting thing. I still think lightsabers would also be not a good solution because at least with like a sword, you can get like parts of you cut off, but like the likelihood of you dying is like slower than with a gun.
Yeah,
and because fights go on for so long, it's more likely that one side gives up before most people die. With guns,
yeah,
the other side gets literally decimated.
no, that's very true.
So I think no one should not have guns. Not the police, not you, and nor should the military have guns. They should come up with like better strategies to like solve conflicts.
Throwing stones at each other.
Or maybe not trying to fuck over other countries.
let's try not to cause war. I mean, let's just do that instead. I think if the world would somehow just achieve world peace, believe me, the world will be a better place.
Yeah, there will still be like discrimination, even like I've come from Brazil. We have a lot of black population. Like I think like 50% of our population is black, and even be between the black folk, we have like discrimination. Like people have like because I'm not dead black, I'm like not half black. I'm like milquetoast black, like full nugget. Okay, like that like I'm brown, you could say. I have been treated badly by folks that are blacker than me, like even though like my ancestors were literally slaves. So it's like, yeah, it's like you have discrimination in the black community itself. So like people will always find a way to like fuck you over, to discriminate against you. I
mean, see, that's the problem with achieving world peace now. If we somehow manage to achieve it now, you'll always have like humanity's past discretions to look back on, and people will always have an excuse to like. I've spoken to this about somebody else, how people will always hold what happened like even 200 years ago, even if it has no bearing on what happens in the current situation now. People will try and bring back what happened years ago just in order to make a point.
The whites will also have like always problems with other whites. Like white rich people hate white poor people. Like, and generally speaking, rich people hate poor people. So it's like they will always find a way to discriminate. Even if everyone was like a gray blob, it will still find a way to discriminate against each other.
Yes, even if you're literally identical, everyone just will.
You would say, you have a different kind of gray than I have. Your gray is too gray. My gray is a little bit lighter.
My gray is Louis Vuitton.
Exactly.
Can you just imagine fucking that? Oh my goodness!
I think there's like a fairly odd Parents episode about that.
Oh Lord! And if you need to learn, need to learn from discrimination from that show,
I just had like a blitz in my mind. Like, oh, I remember like there was an episode of the Fairly Odd Parents where like everyone was like a gray blob or something like that.
Yeah, I remember exactly which one you're talking about. Like, it's one of the first ones I've seen too, but I don't remember like the plot specifically. It has something to do with what we're talking about now, but
yeah. But I think the lesson at the end is like a really bad one.
I can't remember.
As always, children cartoons have most of the time really bad lessons to teach.
I think that's just because it doesn't really have any bearings on any real life consequences. It will learn you the basics, like the obvious stuff. Don't swear, don't steal, be kind. Yeah,
don't
stuff
trust
like that.
Strangers.
Yeah, stuff like that, which can be attributed. Like some of those can really help, but I mean, it doesn't really like teach children about like things that they should be prepared for early in their lives. You know? Like it's teaching the basics. It's essentially like you're preparing them for shit. You're preparing your children for disappointment in the end. That's basically it.
Yeah, I mean, like Disney made a good job of sanitizing the original fairy tales and fucking them over.
No, I know very well what you mean. I legit spoke to one of my other buddies about like you would be surprised how much Disney had changed based off of original stories, or not like the original story, not original stories, but the stories that they've adapted into their kids' films. Like
Hansel and Gretel, Snow White, Rapunzel.
No, the funniest
And like
Funniest
all
one
of
for
those
me
are
was-
German, by the way. No, just saying.
Oh,
They're
I
all-
think Pinocchio makes sense because isn't that also German?
Pinocchio is Italian, actually.
Oh, okay, but like that's what I mean. Like the funniest thing is, I see Pinocchio as like one of the funniest examples about like how badly Disney tried to like adapt
Yeah.
this. Obviously, these books were meant for both audiences. They were meant for adults, and they were both meant for children.
Yeah.
But Disney tried to only like satisfy the needs for like. Well, it was back then when they just started doing the movies. They tried to appeal more to like children than what they do. Like a good example now is Utopia because it deals discrimination and racism, so that's something that the adults can like
Yeah.
can actually study. But I'm talking about like in Pinocchio in the original book, he kills Jiminy Cricket and the cat
Yep.
with the hammer and gets Geppetto locked up for fucking child abuse.
Yep. And he dies at the end because that's what happened. Like that, like he died for his, like everything leads to his demise at the end. And like not I think he had like to release a new version of the book, the original writer. But the meaning was like, if you do a lot of bad shit, you're gonna get you're gonna get the payment.
Yes.
What you sow is what you're gonna harvest. That was the point.
Yeah.
And like in the cutesified version, the Pinocchio Uvu version from Disney, it's like, yeah, everything is gonna be fine, haha. Like,
And this leads up back why they're trying to falsify, like they're setting up children for disappointment.
and of course
Like,
they also copyright the now Pinocchio, and everyone that wants to make a new Pinocchio video, it has to go to Disney because Disney has basically stolen everything from the public domain. And fuck Disney because they fucked up copyright so hard that we don't even know when copyright is gonna end. Just wanted to show it out there. But yeah, please continue.
They fucked up my Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true.
I'll admit they did not fuck up the first movie, but the other two, there's so much shit in that fucking hell. I'll give Disney that. The anthology movies like Rogue One and like Solo. I don't know if you watch Star Wars by any chance. Maybe I should just ask that.
Oh, you want to ask me, the person that watches the first 6 movies every year?
Oh yeah, you did mention to me that
Yeah.
you do that.
Every year.
You told me the other movies don't exist.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Sequels? I never heard about those.
Okay, but no, you know about Rogue One, right?
I never heard about. I don't even know what you're talking about. Disney?
Oh,
Did Disney
Lord,
make
no.
those movies?
No, I hope not, because those were actually good.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I see.
I mean, everything after 2010 seems blurry to me.
Yes. Okay, good point. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just talking.
No, I watched Rogue One. It was okay. Like the only thing that saved the movie for me was like fan service at the end, but the fan service didn't have anything to do with the movie, so it's like.
Yeah, 2 out of 10 until Darth Vader with that fucking lightsaber in the corridor. 10
Yeah,
out
like
of 10 is
I think one of the biggest reasons why people like this movie is because of the last scene. If they would actually watch the whole movie without the last scene, I think the last scene is even like a reshoot and stuff because they realized, oh, the movie isn't that super great. It's like okay, like an average movie, like every movie, it's fine.
I thought that was one of the best Star Wars movies that they fucking could have made. Like,
I mean,
that
being average is already better than like if we have more bad Star Wars movies than good ones.
Yeah, good point. If a 6 out of 10 is better than a 0.
Exactly.
Rey being Palpatine is better than her being nobody.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
I'm Rey Palpatine. Rey Skywalker.
Yes. Disney endorses identity theft.
Actually, they endorse they endorse identity politics, which is like fucking stupid because then they're like, "Oh yeah, it's genetics." I'm like, "Oh no, oh no." Are you aware of your implications? Like the thing I'm like the video about doing about the timeline in action thingy is like most of the times, right? Something is written in the story, and then people are not aware what the implications of what they are telling is. Like, what is the implication of like of the like everything is genetics? Like, oh, are you telling me that like power is genetically? Are you telling me that?
But if that makes sense, like if she just decides to change her names, how does that still lead up to genetics? Do you?
No, like
saying,
her power is genetically, like her power is genetic. So are you telling me that no hard work? And I'm like, are you telling me, like confirming that like if you're born rich, you're gonna continue to be rich and stuff like that, or like if you're born smart, you're gonna be smart, and if you be born dumb, basically, it's like it's everything is genetically given away, nothing is acquired by hard work. Is that the message it's trying to send?
If you bring that up, you actually have a good point.
That's the point. Like most of the time, most people watch movies on autopilot, and so do I. If I go into cinema, I turn off my brain and I see the lights on this, the lights on the screen. Big lights. Drooling. My mouth is like drooling. big lights on screen. But like,
I admit I am very like guilty as well. But I mean, that's literally just of people.
That's 99.9% of people. If I stop for a second to think, like when I'm in review mode, right? If I stop for a second and I think about the implications of what actually should be shown on the screen, like, I don't know if that was intended. I don't know if someone thought about this.
Yeah, I think the only time that I would go into a movie fully expecting something like, what you call it, to not put my brain on autopilots, these movies that actually try to send a message, like not like in a bad way, not like what Last of Us is doing, like if they want to actually make you think,
not self-masturbatory, right? Like I that's my rule for generally anything. As long as you're not self-masturbatory and say, "Oh, look at me, I'm so righteous." As long as that's not like that. As long as like it's presented in a way that's like, "Oh yeah, these are my ideas, and this is how I think," and that's it. It's okay. I think it's okay. You don't even need to show the other side. You can completely dismiss the other side. You can only show your bias. It's fine. But as long as if you like super hardcore on yourself, like, "Oh, look at me, I'm so righteous," then it's creepy. Then it's cringe.
Yeah.
That's my main point. Like, and like the Disney Star Wars movie seems like, are you trying to like jerk yourself off? You know, like,
big money, big franchise, success.
Yeah, I think that's what they thought. Like, big money, big franchise, big money. We don't need to like. People are stupid. They're gonna buy it anyways. People are dumb. Let's make money.
A good animation, like what you call it. I think you know the group Flash Kids by any chance? Do you know them?
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah, they've made fun of that entire situation with the Rise of Skywalker and stuff, where they just know that people will just buy it because of just brand royalty and stuff like that. And that's just sadly true. Like even me, I'm guilty of this, but sometimes I lean more towards like, I don't know how I'm gonna explain this. Like I was never a big fan. If I need to take gaming into consideration again, I was never huge on like seeing what they did to Battlefront because I played the ones when I was a kid, when games are actually good.
Yeah.
And then, I saw that what they were doing with this and like, nah, they're too modernizing. But when it comes to something like, but I would have still given it a go because of brand loyalty, but then I played it, then it sucked, then yeah. But then I go back, they announced Fallen Order, I play that, and then it's actually a fucking amazing game. So sometimes being brand loyal to something isn't always that bad. It's just like, how am I going to explain this? It just depends, like, how a company, uses that brand, Like, if they actually do something positive with it, then fine. Brand loyalty is a good thing because then, you're giving them quality and they'll always come back for more. And if they keep fucking you over just because they want to make a quick buck, then I guess that's where you draw the line.
I mean, for me, a company gets, like, if nothing major happens, a company gets, like, a three-strike system for me. Like, the first strike's like, okay, you fucked up. It's fine. Second strike, like, okay, let's settle down. Third strike, you out. Yeah, I'm never gonna buy anything from you again. Fuck you. And I hope you die.
I'm guessing EA is already on the 69th.
Strike, 69. I don't know. 69 fuck up. So it's like strike over. It's like I never bought anything from EA again, and I don't think I'm missing anything. And that's what most people should do. People should stop buying games from EA. People should stop buying sports games from EA. But people are stupid, and people are gonna continue buying this stuff.
But like I also say, like you also get like the rare occasion, like you can see now with Fallen Order. Like I fucking love that game, but then again, you can't really say that's EA.
That's what I'm to say right there. If EA didn't have the monopoly on Star Wars, because Disney has the monopoly on Star Wars now, and they sold the license on to them to EA for like, I don't know, till 2020 or 2021. If the license wasn't like only on EA, but like everyone could buy the license and like make a game or pitch a game to Disney so they can make the game, then we would have more of a bigger variety of Star Wars games and more Star Wars games. So EA fucked up on many fronts. Like, just because one game is good doesn't this excuse all of their other games that are fucking horrible.
Yes.
Or just copies of each other. Like, I get it. Like, oh, they did one good thing. Like, but one good thing, what is one? Like, it's the whole Trump situation, right? Like, yes, the guy is sometimes, like, out of like 1,000 tweets, sometimes he said something that is reasonable. But, if a monkey is long enough on a fucking typewriter, at some point he's gonna type a fucking sentence that makes sense, okay? Like, of course. yes, of course. If EA fucks up 69 times and on a 17th time they do a good thing, sure, but like, should you excuse all the other shit they do? No, of course not.
Yeah, they should actually, like, that's why it's a good thing for people to like take a stand against kinds of like of an attitude like that, because that will actually probably drive the company to actually try and improve their attitude towards things, and then you can end up with a better product, so they can try and improve from that.
And maybe, not having a monopoly would be pretty good. I mean, copyright is fucked anyway, but
Yeah, so, and that can also help them grow from there and then be better companies in the end. And if they don't, then they can fuck themselves. They don't honestly deserve the people buying this shit to begin with, then, if they're not willing to compensate for the people that are actually getting. It's the same reason why I don't really respect a lot of YouTubers that have these fucking massive egos about like their fan base, and like they feel like those fans owe them something. I mean, if it wasn't for those fucking fans, then
you wouldn't be there.
You would not be where you are today. And that's why I say you need to cherish that. And that's also something what I think a few YouTubers should learn, but I'm just applying that to EA now and to these bigger corporations. But no, some people, and we're not on Twitch, like, I guess we can say simps, they're the reasons why these people still manage to get away with the shit that they actually do, and that's their own fault.
Yeah.
So
I mean, why do people still buy every year sports games? Like, it's one of the biggest sellers.
Oh, Lord.
Why do people still... It's the same game. It's literally the same game. It's the same code base. The only thing they change is, like, a little bit of the graphics packs and the names of the players, and that's it. Like, why are people spending $60? Like, but it's like, okay, here's the thing. Most people play 1 to 2 games a year. Like, we are the exception. We have like a huge backlog of games. We know we're knowledgeable of very, very different genres. Like, most people think the only thing that exists is a console, shooters, and sports games. Like, most people don't know that like platformers exist, racing games, RTS, card games, roguelikes. Most people don't even know about those games. Like, so most people are like indifferent to their own hobby. Like, they only know like FIFA, Madden, NBA, and Call of Duty. That's literally what most people know. And maybe like
they say the graphics look like real life.
Yeah, like maybe a little bit here Fallout from Bethesda, World of Warcraft from Activision Blizzard, then that's it. Like, most people know those franchises, and that's what they buy every year. They buy a Madden every year, and that's the only game the game they buy for the whole year. That's it.
Yeah. That's just sad reality as well. But,
so they don't even know what is out there. And that's like the biggest money-making part of the games industry.
They capitalize on the people that don't know any better.
And that's why they can get away with like the whole predatory monetization, microtransaction bullshit. Because, for them, they only know one type of game.
That's the sad part.
Yeah.
And even sometimes I don't really, it's either, you always get these 3 different kinds of groups of people. Is the people are just too stubborn to, like, what you call it, well, okay, maybe 4. You get the brand loyalty people that are too stupid to like realize like, hey, we're getting fucked over each and every single year with the same shit over and over again. You get the people who don't know any better about other games that, like they, like I said, it can either be good or bad. Like, you get people that just like, okay, no, I don't care about those games. I just want to play this kind of game, which is understandable.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't care about anything else, that's fine. But then you get people who are like full of shit, and it's like, nah, those games are for sissies. Those are for kids. And, then fucking you see Mad World on the Wii. And you fucking, oh, that's for babies. What's this shit? What's with this? No, never mind. I'm not going there, but still. You get like I don't know. Like,
I do you have a solution to that? Because I don't. Like, the only way I can like I can try to explain that to people. I tried with like the Cyberpunk video, like trying to explain the reasons why certain things are bad and why it happens, and I understand the other side as well. But like, other than that, what can you do? Like, I think Jim Sterling has been talking about about bullshit in the games industry for like decades now, for literally a decade now, and like he's not like, of course he says a lot of bullshit as well, but like how are you even supposed to like solve like a problem that like most people don't even conceive as a problem?
Yeah.
Do you even have like idea? I don't know. Like, I'm asking you, like, what are you supposed to do? like a gamer school to get like a gamer certificate.
What the fuck is that going to even help? Now that if you think about that, if they get funding, if a gamer school gets funding from a place like EA, what's the fucking point?
No. I mean like a gamer school in the sense of like, you can only buy games if you have like a certain certificate, and like you have to have learned about games and shit, like a driver's license.
And you get fucking the people that just buy sports games, and then they'll be the lowest common denominators apparently.
Yeah,
these people. They also get the snob fuckers that also just play stuff like Journey to try and look for the fucking different meaning. So we're just in the in between if we go to an echelon.
Yeah, like our artsy games are a hit and miss for me. Sometimes guys can see the reason. Like, it's always if you click or don't click with them, right? If you click or don't click. Like, artsy games can like be like a huge hit and huge miss. What annoys me the most sometimes is like when there's clearly a vision for the game, and developers and the producers and everyone involved in the project denies a meaning in the game. We're like, oh, we want you to find out. Like, you clearly had something in mind, right? Like,
no,
please, just tell us. Don't be pussies.
That's bullshit. That's just, like, I know that this is a situation that people give Kingdom Hearts creator Tetsuya Nomura for. He uses the whole idea that you need to look for meaning and you need to connect dots on your own point as a shield, because he didn't really think of a fucking conclusion himself.
That's what I mean. That's bullshit. Like, when a story is clearly bullshit, it's like, oh no, you have to think of the meaning. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, no bullshit. You had story writers for this game. Get this shit together.
It's like writing the cliffhanger, you know? Oh, my book ends on a cliffhanger. It's like, if your book ends on a cliffhanger, a good cliffhanger is when you have enough information inside of the book that shows you how most likely the story will end. You can still make up yourself, but like the book gives you enough hints of how it will end.
Yeah. And even then, even if it has a clear-cut thing, people have an idea, but they can still speculate, which is up to them if they want to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's why I enjoy watching so many theories and stuff as well, because sometimes, like, I remember that's the thing, again, if we talk about Star Wars again, like how people had an idea how a story went. That makes good sense. And people formulated theories, and then in the end, those theories actually turned out to be true.
Exactly, because the story itself told the ending already.
Yeah, so if you'd be left in a cliffhanger because you just didn't know how to fuck your own story, and then it's like, fuck.
And like, it's really easy to make mysteries, right? I can make mysteries like in 30 seconds. Boy John found a star, and then the adventure started. Mystery, there. What happened in the adventure? That was just the end of the story. You can think of yourself, right?
you need to fucking watch the prequel trilogy to understand.
It's really easy to make mysteries, but it's really difficult to like give enough hints for the mystery to be solved. That's why it's so difficult to write stories.
Well, actually, let me be completely honest. Right now, what you just said there, with that little information, there's already like over 1 million different kinds of fucking theories about why that happened.
Yeah, and that's
like people,
but it's not enough information that can like sensible to find out what happened, right? It's like,
yeah, it's not. You can come up with a conclusion, but it's not going to be an official conclusion.
Yeah, it's going to be like, oh yeah, think of yourself. I clearly intended that to be the case. Now, no, I didn't. I didn't spend 5 minutes thinking about it.
Yes, if you talk about like convoluted storytelling and that, you want to bring up Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, I have my gripes with like Hideo Kojima storytelling. Everyone thinks like, oh, he's the grand mastermind, and like, no, he's not. He doesn't know. Actually, even I could probably. I'm convinced I could write better stories than he could.
No, I really love Hideo Kojima just for his work on Metal Gear, but I'm not really sure about this whole thing with Death Stranding. The thing is with Metal Gear, it's like one of those
Even
games
Metal
where you
Gear
need-
has like janky storytelling. Come on, like
Yeah,
he can pretend like it's like this masterpiece of a story. Like no, it's convoluted. Actually, the most of the times like dangling story threads here and there, and sometimes like yes, and the general idea of his stories are mostly fine. You know, like the whole westernized American politics issues and like sci-fi identity and like those like the big story beats. He hits those, but like so much bullshit in the stories themselves that's like it goes under sometimes.
I guess this is also like, I don't know if you should respect him for doing this, but like his own storytelling actually bites him in the ass because he notices something that he did in the story that is convoluted, doesn't make sense, then he has to make an entire game just to answer that question. Just to answer one question, you need an entire game. So he essentially writes himself into a box that he can't get himself out of unless he just makes another game that can answer that one question.
Exactly. His writing is bad. Like there's no other word to describe it. It's just bad.
Yeah, no, that's a very good point.
Like I like the commitment, and I like that he is like very like he's clearly into his own stories. Like I probably he's convinced himself. He himself is convinced of his story. He himself knows it's good. It's like the Tommy Wiseau or like the Neil Breen stuff. You know, they are convinced of their stories. You know, The Room and the whole other movies. They're convinced of their stories, but at the same time, they're not realizing that their storytelling is garbage.
Yeah, sorry, my phone went off.
No problem. Like that's the only thing. That's what I say. Like I can respect the commitment. That's what I want to say. I can respect the commitment. That's it.
Yeah, okay, that's good to know.
And also, if you make a game, if anyone making a game, if you make a game and like you have like 2-hour cutscenes, make a movie. Fuck off. Go literally. No, if you make a movie, if you make a game, it's 2 hours, 2-hour cutscene. Fuck off. Get the fuck out of here.
I actually kind of like that, but yeah, I could get that's just a minority thing.
A 2-hour cutscene is a movie.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that 2-hour cutscene could be cut in like a 30 minutes because most of it is super fucking filler.
Yes.
So
that's the full Metal Gear right there.
Yep.
That much I know.
Yep. I watch one. Okay, I'm a One Piece. I watch One Piece, and the only reason I want to rewatch from episode 1 so I can re-record all the episodes and like cut every episode as I watch them because there's so much fucking pacing issues with this thing because it has to be made like weekly. So it's like one page is stretched in like I don't know like several minutes. And like fuck, cut that shit. Recap episodes or like flashbacks. You don't know how hard I press skip when I see a flashback part. Like flashback. I don't know. I'm much spending my time watching some fucking flashback that I just watched in the last episode.
Yeah. This is why I'm very like niche when it comes to anime. I have watched Dragon Ball Z and that had its fair share of filler, but I'd say that filler wasn't really that bad. But this is why I tend to go to like the 12-episode long animes like Another and shit like that.
Yeah, which is like one season only, and then you have to watch the go read the manga if you want to see the rest of the story.
Oh, good point.
Because
I don't even know.
The one thing that I found out, anime is just advertisement for the manga. I never knew that. Like, but that's basically it.
Well, sometimes I think that bites them in the arse. Or you can see this going as a win-win situation because if one thing is successful, or the other thing is successful, they win either way. So
yeah, sure. Like, but that's most anime. Like most anime gets like one season only. Because like it has to really blow up to be get a second season. But like, most anime is truly made just so people know about the franchise and then read the manga afterwards or buy the manga afterwards. I never knew about that, but like that's basically how it works right now.
I also never knew, but that does make a lot of sense, yeah, because so much shit is cut out from the anime. If I have to bring up Yu-Gi-Oh again, there's literally a part where some guy gets skinned alive in the anime. Not in the anime, in the manga, and they do not show that in the Japanese, and I hope to the Lord not in the English one.
I wonder why.
Yeah, no, for kids. But still, yeah. So that makes sense because you hear stuff like that. Then it's like, hang on, no, now I need to invest more money into this franchise just so I can see one small thing that isn't really in the media. So
Yep.
on that form of the media. So yeah, it's also a very good marketing strat that works as well. So
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. Like, I recently saw like a video about someone saying, "Oh, we need like gotcha games to get animes," and I'm like, "No, we need gotcha games to die."
no, I'll admit I wouldn't be against Genshin anime because that's one of those types of games that I don't really care about the fucking story, and again, I'm just grinding that thing for someone else, so I'm not
Yeah,
really
but
that
like,
invested in.
do you want an anime about like? There's so many good manga already. Like, why do we do like gotcha game anime just because the thing is successful? Is that
It's
it?
probably gonna happen most likely. I
Yeah,
think
it's gonna
with
happen for
Genshin,
sure. There will be a Genshin anime. I can expect that already.
yeah. I mean, they're making an animated series of Arc for fuck's sake. So I
Yeah,
mean,
like Guild's Front Line is also probably gonna get an anime and shit like that. Isn't
hmm,
that the whole fan franchise, a whole gotcha thing?
I have no idea.
They're like, yeah, whatever. Like, you know, like gotcha games need to go. Okay, I know it's like, oh, but it's normal in Japan. Fuck Japan. Okay, if they need to grow up. Okay, gotcha games unhealthy. It's fucking unhealthy thing. Fuck gotcha games. Gotcha games bad. Everyone that defends the gotcha games business practice sucks. Can suck my dick. And you know,
I guess like that's just a small part of Japan because you got to also remember those guys made some of the best games of all time.
that's true. But at
Yeah.
the same time, fuck gotcha games.
Just say the gacha part of Japan.
You can get rid of gotcha and keep the games. There you go.
Yeah, no, I don't know. The gacha thing doesn't really affect me. I'd say, like I said, Genshin is my very first one, and I'll give that game that it's really something you'd need to spend no money on.
Yeah, but can
to
I ask you something, because that's like one of the nefarious things that I find in gacha games. Do you find yourself like in a position where like, oh, maybe like oh, the energy thing is back. Oh, let's play it again, pay a while, and like, yeah, and you think about it in your free time. You're thinking about the game again. Oh, when the next energy thing is up. Does it happen to you?
Well, I'm one of the few people that can say no because
Okay.
I really don't care.
Okay, but like
I just
for the review, the whole action time thing. I have noticed like this happening to me. Like, oh yeah, I know now it's sticking. You know, if you stick with a game long enough, you know, if you invest enough time, that your brain is like, oh yeah, those systems are at work. You know, and in the back of your mind is like, oh yeah, the energy is back. Maybe I should play again.
Yeah, it keeps like what it keeps constantly like bringing you back just so you can keep playing, which is completely understandable.
Exactly.
That makes a lot of sense. But like I said, no, I can. This isn't bragging. It's literally just my point of view. I can say I don't care.
You have reached that level of cynicism that you can shove it off.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
I think that's the best way of saying it. I got so cynical to the point where now this shit does not affect me.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but like that's what the defense of most people are. Like, oh, I am immune to it. Like, yeah, I know you're immune to it, but like most people aren't.
Yeah, exactly.
Most people like you know, it's those systems are made so you get addicted to it. Like they were discovered to make you addicted. So it's like yeah. So it's like that's the major reason why it needs to go. It needs to go. Like, or it needs to be regulated. How we want. Put a 10+. If you, I swear to God, if it's like a 18+ game, you know, if you have to be 18+, you know, to have that thing, and it's actually enforced, not like the App Store thing where like you can enforce like 18+. Then companies would switch so hard. They would switch so hard.
Yeah.
Because money, and the money is with the children.
And sadly, you put the money into the hands of people or like a majority that does not really know how to work well with it, and it just is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I mean, we hear about the stories about like child spends $3,000 on FIFA cards, or like child spends $6,000 on Clash of Clans, and like because the credit card is connected to the thing, there's no refunding and shit. Or we hear about like people going to develop and say, oh hey, I enjoy a game, but like I literally spend so much money into it, so much, like I lost by a financial ruin, and then developers are like, yeah, we know, but like that's how we make our money. It's like, you know, the developers are aware that the game is addictive, and they prey on like people that are already vulnerable. Yes, like most people will not fall for that. Like and most people have grown, especially us who have grown with like this smartphone games that are made like that. We have grown in immunity, but like one day there might be a game that comes around that you really like, and you're like, oh, maybe I should spend money, and you have the disposable income. You're like, oh, maybe I should spend money just to skip the grind a little bit, you know? And like, then the problem was created by the developers, and developers are aware that they're preying on these types of prey people. So yeah,
because they know that's how it makes money, and that once again brings up to the point: big corp bad.
I hate to say it, but it's a pretty solid saying, you know. Like I don't want to brag too much, but I think that pretty much hits the nail on the head, you know.
Copyright,
I know it's very.
That
Please. What did you say?
What did you say? Copyright that catchphrase.
I mean, I've been thinking about it. Just to stick to the big corporations. Like, I copyrighted the term "big corp bad," so he can't use it.
Well, I mean, like that would be nice, wouldn't it?
That would be the incorporation of big corp bad, because then I'm using a big corp bad strategy to point out that big corp is bad.
Yeah.
That I should do that. I should copyright the phrase "big corp bad."
Get on that shit now.
Yeah, I have to look it up how to copyright shit. I need to copyright the phrase "big corp bad." I mean, I pretty much I never heard someone said that before. Beside, maybe I heard that somewhere, but like I think I have coined, like I never heard someone say to me or anyone else. Let's Google this shit real quick. Nope. Now I'm
to copyright.
I'm the first one that like has this specific saying "big corp bad."
Yes.
Yep. There's no
That's
big
good. Now you can like grow your channel. Now you can change your banner to "big corp bad" and have that be a copyrighted trademark for you.
Yeah, I need to make a trademark, and then I think that's a good. We should work together on merch with big corp bad merch.
Hell yeah, the big corp bad movement.
I think a good thing would be like a pin with like my name and then big corp bad or something like that.
Yes, you can do that. I mean, that's not too hard. It's gonna be pretty cheap, but mass production is gonna be a bitch. I can have that much.
Yeah, it must be. Yeah, something like a T-shirt could be like the world, and then the big three letters, big corp bad, and like smoke coming, like a factory on top of the world, and like smoke coming out of it.
I guess you can also do this, like, you know, it's BBC, but now it's BCB.
BCB, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, BCB networks. I was thinking about like having like having like a news setup, big corp bad news. That would be awesome. That would also be interesting.
Bad news.
Yeah, big corp bad news, but like summoning up like monthly stuff, you know.
I guess
instead of like I not calling out. Fuck it, calling out people. Legacy Kill HD, Quartering, what is upper echelon gamers? All those people have figured a way out how to like make like even young fuck that guy. Not fuck that. No, fuck them. Okay, those people are not doing anything bad. But because they hop on stories so fast, they get oftentimes really wrong. Like you get stories really wrong, especially the Quartering.
Yeah.
So I think monthly would be like a good thing, and like actually not trying to interject much of your opinion into it. I mean, if someone is called a big corp bad news, it would clearly be biased, you know. But like, if you are supposed to be like a news source, at least try to like be as neutral as possible.
What you want to do? Oh yeah, neutral is also a very good idea.
Of course, you're never gonna be completely neutral. You're like a single person. You know, of course, you're gonna have your opinions and things, but like maybe trying to not actively lie in your videos. That would be cool.
Yeah, that would probably very much help.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, people will take your word for it, and when you've been proven wrong, then guess what? You're in deep shit. So,
I mean, in the case of the Quartering, doesn't matter. He lies probably in every video, and nobody cares. People still think.
Yeah.
I mean,
but so
okay. Maybe I'd be like a little bit like hyperbolic here, but like in the videos I've seen and the videos I've analyzed, he has a very bad conduct. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, I'm not really that sure. I think I've only seen one thing about the Quartering and that kind of stuff, and I've only pretty much learned most of what I've heard from them from you. So if there's anyone that should know about these kinds of things, I guess it's only you.
I would say his conduct is poor. I'm not against his exist. I'm not one of those people like, oh, deplatform those people. I wish, for example, Alex Jones would come back to YouTube. I wish like Alex Jones wasn't banned. Even though he's like conspiracy fucking nut and has clearly some screws loose, like who gives a shit? What's better to have? I think it's better to have the crazies on the platform, and so we can like have people debunking them than having the crazies off the platform where we can see them.
Yeah,
it's my standpoint. Of course, if the person says, "Oh, let's kill all the Jews" or something like that, then you should maybe you should ban them. You know, maybe.
Yeah. I think maybe stretching it. I think maybe that's a perfect definite.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, maybe is stretching it. Like, yeah, definitely. Like, if you call for like actual violence against a group, be it black, white, Asian, whatever, then you deserve the ban.
Yeah, in simple terms, let's just put this blatantly. If people want to go that far and be like that, then just fuck off.
Yeah. But otherwise, like if you're just spreading like some dumb dipshit conspiracy theories, like who cares? Then you're gonna have a lot of people debunking them, and maybe those people that believe in those conspiracy theories are gonna watch the videos that are like debunking them and like, oh yeah, maybe I was wrong, you know?
Yeah, I guess that can also work.
Yeah. Ah, good. Thank the Lord. I'm sorry to keep you like talking you to death, but you know, I like talking. Okay, I always ask that at the end, if you have any advice for people that would start doing YouTube or music or whatever you do, whatever people want to do graphic design, editing. If people are starting today, what advice would you give them?
Just start.
Yeah, start.
That's literally what I'm gonna say. That's what the hardest part about doing anything is to start doing it. When I wanted to start doing music on my channel, I was scared fucking shitless. I was literally like, even when I wanted to post my very first video in years, I was scared shitless. But once it's really like doing anything. The more and more you do it, the more and more you get used to it. So if anyone out there wants to start doing something on YouTube, just go for it. The biggest mistake you're making right now is not doing it. That's my biggest, like, what you call it. That's my biggest advice that I can probably give to a person. Just start, and everything will work out from there if you just keep at it. So yeah.
That's I like that, because I heard like from someone, the best day to plant a tree is yesterday, and the best plant to plant a tree. So the best day to plant a tree.
Tired, right?
The best day to plant a tree was yesterday. The best day to plant a tree is today. The best day to plant a tree is not tomorrow. Something like that.
Give me a sec. Let me Google that.
Something like that. I forgot this fucking saying.
Plant a tree.
Yeah, like
saying. Okay.
Was yesterday or something like that.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. Wait, hang on. What?
Yeah.
The popular Chinese proverb says that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
Exactly.
Basically, in the context of the conversation here today, this means that if you want to success and grow in the future, the best time is to act now. Yeah, basically.
Exactly.
Hardest part is starting, but if you start now, you keep at it, everything will just work out.
Exactly. Chinese proverb. Nice.
Yes.
Big China bad.